All right, so we got the Antifa group arriving, a fully square. There you can see there is a flag waving rally right here, which I believe is organized in solidarity with political. They build it as solidarity against political prisoners. The police have, looks like they're coming up, but the group is hanging back. They're about 3/4 of a football field away from each other, I'd say. Maybe 60 yards. We're in the north. This is the north part of Foley Square here, where you have United Against Fascism NYC. They're the front banner carriers, the north side of the park. One thing is there are other press. So they're so now you got the
Come on, good boys! What's that noise? Fuck the Proud 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 Boys! Fuck the Proud Boys!
now there's literally 10 yards in between the two protests. And again, this one is the fully square protest that is in solidarity with
Cowards, cover your faces or death. Don't be the one to stand for it. Take your fucking masks off. Cowards, take your masks off. If you believe in what you stand for. Some of them don't even know what they're doing. Some of them are just standing like, okay, is this what I'm doing? Do I do this? Do I hold this up like this? Should I bring it down a little bit? What do I say? Do I stay quiet? Chief! Followers! Lemmings! You guys are lemmings! Followers! There's no actual education! You're missing content! You're missing the facts! Why is there such a void? Why is there nothing to say except signs? Generic ones like robots! Why? Faces covered, little jerks, cowardy. Look at this. Helmets. We're the ones who need the helmets. You go right here. There. Why is the ones hiding?
I will say it's a pretty difference here that I find is that it's a pretty robust press, and I think that makes a difference too.
What's the Proud Boys? What's that noise? Fuck the Proud Boys! 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 Are you guys Alvin and the Chipmunks? Are you guys Alvin and the Chipmunks? You sound a little peasy over there, guys. You seem to be scared of Alvin and the Chipmunks since you're behind the cops and behind that barricade. What are you doing? Keep talking a little bit. Go hand in hand! Go hand in hand! Cops and clear! Go hand in hand! Cops and clear! Cops and clear! Cops and clear! Cops in the clear! Hand in hand! They're literally protecting you.
Someone says, "Are there Proud Boys there?" I see there's two color types, I would say. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Someone threw something. So we already saw something get thrown from the center of this group. Nothing from this group, the south, the north. So I am in the DMZ right now. There's just a bunch of press. Just threw an egg. Someone just threw an egg from this side. Egg right there. There's another egg. They got eggs. The Antifa group has eggs.
Yo, you bugging the fuck out. Hey, it's not even enough for y'all.
Eggs are coming in. Sorry. They're talking about getting a beat on whoever threw the eggs.
Now police protect cop killers. Ah, man. Look at all these police protecting cop killers. I don't know one BLM protest where a cop got hurt. Oh, what up, son? What camera at? Tell her the Proud Boys no bueno. But I said that, yeah. All that big stuff on her shirt. I said all that shit. Talk about the dog, man. No KKK.
Take out these guns! Take out these guns that come here! Take out these fucking guns!
I'm against that vaccine shit, but all that other shit is a dub. Old ladies, leave them. Yo, leave the old ladies alone.
So you have some normies. Somebody yelled, "Leave the old ladies alone," because the Antifa group moved back. So going right back into the DMZ in between two. You can go check and get a video of the eggs, a closer look at the eggs. We got bike police coming in here.
I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist and that our system isn't put together in such a way to keep some of us down.
Okay, let's go. Independent press. So I just said independent press. They let me in. I also am not wearing my mask on. That's key in this crowd. But you can see.
I was alone. That was like 10. I won. This the bottom. And tried to drop me with the bottom. So, everybody was doing that.
So one of the key talking points is do not police the protest. And this fellow actually got them to not attack. He said there were a bunch of old ladies. The fellow with the long dreads over there told them.
Relax. You want to get physical?
Can I interview you on the flat shirt? InfoWars flag there at the top. So we have a Proud Boys hat here. Shade here.
my microphone going in a second, man. Let's go and start the video. We can talk. Hold that thought, man. Let's talk about that. Hold that thought.
Lisa, she said, just entertain you guys, get the nice, peaceful protest vibes going. She's going to sing God Bless America to entertain you all, right? So welcome, Lisa.
God bless America.
Some of the other things that are like, we're not any of this. We're just for political prisoner freedom. Hey, how's it going? Can I interview you real quick? Because I noticed you have a flag, an anarchist flags here. Are you in support of solidarity with the prisoners of January the 6th, or are you?
Not every single one. The ones that were nonviolent, that were there just to protest the elections, to say the elections were fraud. And they at least should be checked out and not shut down. At least people should have a right to see the election results, which I don't think anybody stays the truth. And that's not a left-wing, right-wing thing. That's just a corruption thing.
Here in New York City, do you think it's easier for you? For example, there's some parts of the country it'd be hard to walk into this protest crowd with an anarchist flag.
Well, everybody who's done the work I do in New York knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, then you've never done the work.
Thanks, everybody. So again,
Thanks.
we have presented the cameras and live streaming across
These
the United
people over
States of
here
America.
have boiled it down to
Awaiting a couple of
anybody
speakers
who's
that are
against
supposed
the
to
mask,
start.
against the vaccines,
Talk about
anybody who
yourself,
questions the elections is a right-wing Trump supporter. As you can see, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Democrat either.
And everybody, we have
Not
some
any
songs
of that.
up here. If you want to come up and
You consider yourself an anarchist, though?
Yeah, a real anarchist. Anarchists don't
Anybody want to hold a
call
sign, come
people
up and grab one.
who has a different opinion than being an anarchist a fascist. Morons do that. People have a right to have an opinion, and that doesn't mean they're a fascist. Your actions indicate whether you're a fascist or not. So the people say they're an anarchist, they're not. Any reporters here that think those people, because they have a
Okay,
black
so Sean
flag,
is going to do
they're
some.
not
He's a
anarchists.
very skillful hip hop artist. He was entertained while we wait for the rally to start. So everybody, put your hands together for Sean.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask your name, or are you?
Sure, Rich.
Oh, Rich?
Rich the anarchist.
Rich the
I like to
anarchist.
call myself.
Okay, Rich the
I'm
anarchist.
from New York.
All right, thank you.
All right, good to see you. Sorry you got these morons.
Mic check. Mic check. This song that I'm about to do is called Divide and Conquer. And it's a strong, passionate song, but if you really pay attention to it, you'll understand the love behind it. It's a real message that intends to unite rather than divide. And though it might get some of us worked up on the other side over there, I actually hope it doesn't. I actually hope that you hear the words that are coming out from this song. Let's go. If you could bring the... Saying Black Lives Matter just as Latin lives do. And don't forget the Asians, because their lives matter too. But please listen, if you white, it doesn't apply to you. You're hardly good enough to shine a black man's shoe. Or what your ancestors never owned any slaves or who. It's time to send you to re-education camps by 2022. And listen, while we're at it, send morality there too. It's time we call good bad and bad good too. A lot of those who try to believe their voices like me and them don't understand. This country was founded and declared its independence. We read it with words like all men are created equal. And now 56 members of Congress signed the document declaring those words, essentially agreeing to those words. But we're distracted by the slavery within our roots, overlooking the fact that we are the most successful country in the history of the world, to be the freest in the world. Hey, I want y'all to hear this. Antifa, check this out.
This for you. They refund the police.
Just the skin of me, bro.
I'm always even looking for it. What am I supposed to get back on? What? I touch it. Like, I ain't doing that. Look, move back. Not there. Not the stupid ass how I'm doing, right? I don't care, bro. I was done with this, bro. Get out my face. I'm a grown man. I'm trying to be controlled.
You ain't realize the little ones was been against the whole time?
You wanna see one? Yo, that nigga was just over here. Why you ain't stopping?
That they were gonna make
Alright, so the next nigga come over here, I'm gonna knock him out. Alright, yo, you hear me, nigga? The next one of them come over here, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Alright. Y'all gotta be overprotective, right? Because I let them come over here, right? I'm not gonna explain that so much. Alright. I don't care about that. I'm gonna go to jail with the rest of them. No life revolutionary.
That they push it down. They push you to be homosexual. They push you to be aborted children. All of it to keep on past your race.
When they start getting hurt, for real.
Okay? All of it means to protect you.
It's dirty in my ass and shit.
We do a really good job on vaccines and reproductive health services. We can lower the population down by 15%.
That's
He
your
didn't
question.
say
I
that
overhand slapped the
He
shit out
said
to his home
it
about
here,
this shit. You know that?
loud and proud.
I'm coming right home. So I want to bash
This is
you.
not conspiracy theory.
Kids gonna watch you get shot.
This is real
That's
stuff.
bad.
Real questions. Okay?
Calm down.
The Ku Klux Klan was always
I just want to talk.
always.
You agitated.
They lie about Big Switch.
I'm a grown ass man.
You think something different
What you
happened.
protecting? What you
So
protecting?
look up the Big Switch and see if you find any sources.
Who they look like they protecting?
You won't.
You were having a conversation. You were in the middle of a conversation just now from somebody who is on the other protest. What was that conversation like?
I didn't get to it because he came and fucked it up. Because BLM protesters aren't mature. They look at us like animals. Look.
Well, now, do you identify more with BLM? Do you, say, one more thing.
Vaccines? Should we do vaccines?
Yo, Carol! Somebody Get your nasty ass vaccinated. I love that one.
These vaccines
They're having a
are anti-you. They're anti-your cause. They know the art of reverse psychology. And so they got you out there with signs that say drive fascists out. Meanwhile, you are doing the exact definition of fascism. It's reverse psychology. They train you. They put it in your head to make you feel like you're important. To make you feel like if you come out here and hold these signs up, regardless of the sense that it makes, that you're doing something for your cause. They got people in corners passing out masks, and they feel like, oh, I'm doing something of me just because the mask is passing out masks. Not realizing that they're covering their face.
She was talking about her.
It's a control.
She was talking about me.
It's
Talk
protection.
over here. Talk over here. Then.
I'm a real revolutionary, my man. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do here?
Let's go behind the bike.
What can I do here today?
Go behind the bike, man.
What?
That's it. Go behind the bike.
I'm in.
Go behind the bike.
This next song is called Not Gonna Take It.
Hey, I don't want to scream. I don't want to scream.
Karen Madison. What bitch? Oh no, this bitch was talking to me at the. She fucking put her arms around my neck. She was like, "Barney, we're friends." I swear to God, this bitch was. She had my number. She had my. I can show you. I like. She had my fucking phone number. She texted me when I got arrested. Yes, and now she has to. She still thinks she's going to the office. People just tell pussy. Look how they bigger than you. They bigger than you, and you are big and blue. Terrible. Terrible. I think I should trust you better than them. Yellow pussy. Oh, that's the bitch that sit on me. Oh, wait, she's over there.
So they're allowing him to have his conversation with a woman he called out and appears to know. He had said earlier, this fellow, that he identifies more as BLM, Black Lives Matter, and not Antifa. So he has some sort of conversational relationship with the organizer of this rally on the right wing. And so they're talking. Sorry.
That's making fun,
So when
Why you so fake? Why y'all so fake? Why y'all so fucking fake? Yeah, we don't like your body.
Hey, Kara. How you doing? What's up?
Carry you fake ass bitch. Carry your fake ass bitch.
Right.
Your hands around my neck and now you fucking, and now you complaining on me. Carry you fake ass bitch. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Carl.
so how'd that conversation
That was
go?
hard. Was that hard? Was that hard? Yeah, you see, we not animals, right?
Be nice, Calipussy. I'm watching you, Calipussy.
What was the conversation like that you just had? Like,
Cause I spoke with her. We've done this before. A lot of them already know me, man. So she told me she wasn't with Proud Boys.
yeah.
And she was against a lot of police stuff. But every time I see, all I'm hearing is Proud Boy this, Black the Blue this. When black people are done, okay, you have your fight. I don't understand you. Understand our fight and stand with us if you really for the people. That's why I don't believe you. You're a racist in my eyes, and all you're fighting for is yourself and not the world that's going through problems.
You're able to have conversations though. It seems. Do you identify more with Black Lives Matter than Antifa?
I ain't Antifa nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a black man in America fighting back. That's it. You want to know what I am here? Look me up. I really take care of the community, you heard? We really take care of the community, you heard? Yeah.
What is it? 50? Your website?
Yeah, look it up.
50/8.org. And what's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Chill. You'll find out later. Ask around.
Okay. Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Yo, if I wanted to do something, I would have jumped over you. If I wanted to do something, you can't stop me, bro. You can't stop me. You know I'm telling you, I was going to look at you. Know that you need more simple. Take your ass over there. Please. Bro, I was know this shit, bro. Y'all be wanting us to do dumb shit. But this nigga just came all the way over here. I didn't make it over there. And I can't make it to the very head. I really think we're stupid, right? Right? I guess I know. I guess
Yeah, we don't want any problems.
But I don't rep either side.
No, it doesn't matter. They don't care, so.
Yeah, but I actually came in.
They're indiscriminately throwing eggs. So
no, I understand.
I'd rather eliminate the problem.
Yeah, but I walked in with them. Like I'm not they let me cover them. I'm not with them, but they let me cover. I cover both sides, so I'm okay. But I appreciate it. Are you PIO or what? Are you PIO or are you with the police?
Yeah, I'm community affairs.
Yeah. Community affairs. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks. I appreciate it. Though. I appreciate it. Do you want to say anything about the Day of Solidarity? Do you want to say anything about the Day of Solidarity?
No,
okay, just checking. Just checking.
I haven't made a song in the past, I don't know why yet. But we want to reach the first round. It's insane that they got us out. They have so many of us in jail for things you can't even, they don't let you hear all the story, they don't let you hear the face. All you know is that another Trump supporter that was asked in D.C., just present on the grass even, has got arrested. And all you hear is another Trump supporter arrested. Because all that's all they want. They want that headline. And these people are suffering in jail. For something that the cops were paying attention to. That gates were open for them to come and do.
So, if you're just joining us, I am in the DMZ right here. There's only another two photographers who are kind of walking in between. But, you know, obviously people don't want to be mistaken being on the other side.
Just look at how it's. Look. This was what you call a fucking human shield. From what? They protesting. We protesting.
But if they're not there, do you acknowledge that the two groups would probably come to
If they
blows?
were here, I'd fuck one of them up.
Right. So they're here.
Check this out. It's the way you do things. See, you're just here with your back towards them. That tells us you don't see them as a threat. You see us as a threat. Look, there's cops behind us. There's no cops behind us. You see the frame attention?
Oh, there is a cop over there in the back.
Look at their positions. They're
Yeah,
chilling.
he's
They're hanging
chilling.
out.
They're chilling.
They're not ready for something.
Well,
They're right here, ready.
But that's because this side threw eggs already, right?
They're ready.
Right, but that's because this side already threw eggs, you know? Right?
I don't know.
Isn't it?
You think this is necessary for eggs?
Well, I'm just
You
saying.
think that's reasonable?
I mean, they're huge.
Man,
Do you think that's reasonable?
I'm just asking you guys.
Hold on.
I'm just asking you guys.
You know what the main
Shit you do in Halloween. You think this is kids? The shit that kids do in Halloween.
But
you think this is necessary?
But they
for
want to
that?
make sure that the two groups don't fight each other, right? And start. It starts with eggs, but then you start.
If we fight each other,
wailing on each other,
we
right?
fight each other,
Yeah.
they're gonna be beating us up with them.
Exactly. The cops beat up this side most of the time. It's not just them playing, referee. They take a side. They actively take a side in this. They don't just enforce the law or anything like that. They're an active political lobby as well, right? Cops also advocate for laws that they like the drug war, for example, and stuff like that, because it expands their budgets, expands their power, expands their head counts as well, right? So, of course, they're against people like this, and they actively take a side against people like this, right? I mean, and it's been like that throughout history, essentially, right? Even in the 30s, I don't know if you read the article about the Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden.
Right, sure.
There were anti-fascists, Jewish anti-fascists, who protested the same way, and people said, oh, wait, we don't want fights to break out or anything like that. But the cops that night only cracked down on the anti-fascist side, the Jewish anti-fascists in the 30s. This is even before, 1939. This is before 1939 this happened. And anti-fascists knew from then, what was down the pipeline, essentially, right? And if anti-fascists were essentially allowed to squash that movement in Germany before it could blossom into what it became, the Third Reich, history would be very different right now, right? So essentially...
But do anti-fascists, here's a question, do they also fuel their solidarity? Does in other words, if an anti-fascist comes and shuts them down, doesn't that give them more inertia to rally against? Isn't this a symbiotic thing where people are feeding each other?
Definitely not. For example, whenever you push back against fascists and make them have to think twice about coming out, it usually works out. Charlottesville was a great example, right? For a long time after Charlottesville, after that big embarrassment for the fascist side, the rallies were city, essentially. Right? No one came out. They were too scared to come out. And all that time, there was basically no rallies agitating for hate, inciting hate against people.
Right.
And that's a positive. That's a benefit.
Do you see?
And the longer you can stretch that time of them not wanting to come out and essentially incite violence against black and brown people, immigrants, whoever they hate, nowadays. You know what I mean? That's a good thing.
In 2017, I posted like the punch a Nazi kind of thing, and right at that time, at the rise of Charlottesville, Trump had just come into office. But my question is, those were ethno-nationalists. They were white ethno-nationalists. Do you see this group with the exact
Civic nationalists?
the exact same
They're-
lens of being white
They're on the same
ethno-nationalists?
spectrum. They're on the same spectrum.
On
I
the
mean,
same
shit.
spectrum.
I mean, a lot of Proud Boys came to this, right? And Proud Boys are essentially considered a white supremacist gang right now. Basically. And it's only a matter of degree that separates them between the traditional Workers' Party, for example, or Patriot Front, for example. That pipeline is easy to slide down for them. Very easy to slide down for them. I mean, they share. If you go online and you look at their media, they look at the same media too, right? They look at the same websites, OAN, Newsmax, and blah blah blah. The fact that they consume the same media and have essentially the same ideology, just difference in degrees. I mean, one is more likely to smile in your face, I guess. I mean, shit, what's the difference? But they both hate you, essentially, right? I mean, shit. Just because they're not burning a cross on your lawn doesn't mean they're not a threat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we don't want it. It shouldn't even get to that point where they burn. You have to stop it way before it gets to that point. You know what I mean? You have to stop it when they're starting to talk about scapegoating groups for things like the immigrants are the why you don't have a job, or the immigrants are why the economy is bad, or the immigrants are why crime is up, or whatever, right? Or Black Lives Matter. They're the ones making crime go up, or whatever. This is classic scapegoating of ethnic minorities. Classic.
Are they allowed to have an opinion if they feel that the left is too militant? Are they allowed to respond and have an opinion, in other words?
I mean, if you look at the history of what's called anti-communism, it's always been a masquerade for like fascists, straight up like fascists. Like, I mean, just look at the history of anti-communist movements in Europe, essentially, right? It's always like some anti-Semites behind it and shit like that. So this whole they're acting in bad faith when they talk about, oh, the left is too militant or whatever, because it's just a smokescreen for actual harmful beliefs that they harbor, that they want to like launder in by saying, oh, we're just anti-militant leftists, we're anti-communism or whatever. You shouldn't accept their arguments in good faith because they're not acting in good faith. I mean, shit.
Are you guys?
If you want to talk about democracy, for example, right? They don't care about democracy. January 6th proves they don't care about actual democracy, right? They wanted to do a coup, stop the steal. That's what it was about, right? A literal coup, overturning an election, right? I don't like Biden. I hate Biden, but he won the election. Yeah. But they don't care about that. But then when they turn around and say like, oh, you don't believe in our free speech or whatever, you don't. Trust me, the democracy. But what is agenda? And it happens not just in America, but in Latin America. It happens in Europe. The same kind of rhetoric is used in like Bolivia. Like when they got Evo Morales to run out the country last year or two, right? The right wingers before that did the same thing. They had essentially stop the steal rallies before that, right? A lot of protests saying that the election was fraudulent. But the only difference was, in that case, the cops and the army joined up with the right wingers and ran Evo Morales out the country. But before that, the whole time, the right wing's rhetoric was.
Do you want to say anything? You don't? Okay.
So,
what do you say? Not to give me any what?
So the right wing essentially claimed the same way. And the same thing happened. So I'm just saying, just look at the historical and the global context, the way movements like this operate throughout the world and throughout history. It's the same shit. But just they trade out ethnicities to scapegoat, basically. I mean, in Bolivia, and like Chile, for example, they blame the Ecuadorians and Peruvians. The same way they talk about Mexicans, essentially, right? Same right-wing kind of hate. And that needs to be stopped before it becomes a serious thing.
Thank you. Thanks for talking. I appreciate it. So that was interesting. You saw that, he was kind of handled there. He was very candid about his worldview, someone mentioned. Um, my question has always been and was going to be, have you ever talked to somebody on that other side? Because what we saw is the fellow with the long, braids or dreads, is in community with the organizer of this Patriot protest, which is in solidarity. This protest, I think, is in solidarity with January 6th. People who have been detained for a number of months, some of them, I believe. And so that's what this protest is about. Interestingly enough, it's also the day of solidarity, of prisoners' solidarity. You see, it's a solidarity with Antifa prisoners, because today, July 25th, is the International Day of Solidarity when it comes to political prisoners. So it's very interesting that both sides are repping, and you get these crossovers. You had a guy in there that was an anarchist who was supportive of right wing. Likewise, you have a guy here who is repping a Black Lives Matter style revolutionary front that's different from the others. So there is diversity within. We find within both these sides. But you saw, as I was talking, somebody, the organizer who I had talked to earlier and thought I was cool, kind of said, whispered in his ear. So I was handled, but the,
Take your kids with you.
there's one question I was going to ask you. Have you ever had conversation with the right side?
Plenty.
You have? Okay.
It's not worth it.
So I asked him if he ever had those conversations. He said it's not worth it. Plenty. So interesting interview, though, nonetheless, that he was willing to talk to me at all. Because usually you saw the guy come in and tell him, that I was a live streamer and not to talk to me, but so it's very unusual to have that kind of interaction. Let's see, we got someone here. Just crept through the line. It looks like he's just asking what this is about. The guy in the sandals. Doesn't seem to be any kind of agitator. Is that a Disney song? You bring honor to a song? I don't know, I might be wrong, but it sounds like they're playing like the Mulan soundtrack? I don't know, or is it Rodgers and Hammerstein? Any music theater Disney song? Any musical theaters? But okay, Google. You'll bring honor to whose song is, what musical is this? You will bring honor to us all. Feels like it's Mulan, or I'm gonna guess Rodgers and Hammerstein, like one of those kind of Asian Orientalism type musicals. I don't know. But if I were to guess, I'd say Mulan. Someone said, "Yep, Mulan. Bring honor to us all from Mulan." Thank you. I heard a taser, I thought. I heard a taser over here. You got Patriot types who are trying to get around.
Maybe one of you will walk us through. Put your fucking camera away.
She was not happy. So it looks like you have a
Patrick, let's go.
this guy's insisting on going through.
It's time for you to leave. Walk through
Get out. Out. What is it? What country am I in right now? You're in a country where if you don't want to hurt anything to do with you, we don't have to. You don't have to. You can just let me walk right past. You can just move aside. I want to walk over there.
Look at this fucking
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir.
So
You have a taste.
So press, when the press asked, "Do you have a taser, ma'am?" and she just yelled, "Shut up." But I heard a taser.
The American flag shot.
Oh, American flag. The one that said "Shut up." Basically. Okay. Someone has commented, "So the umbrellas run the street." And a leather jacket. So you can see the green umbrella. I was just filming the protests over there. She was singing "God Bless America." So you have a flank in the back so that people can't walk by. So it looks like they've taken this sort of north little walkway here. You got police here, and then, you know, if you try to get through there, they shove the umbrella in that other guy's face. And then once he was done, they kind of turned their attention to me. We got cops coming through. Interesting. So now the police are taking up a flank here to prevent exactly what you have here, which is like this old woman from walking into Antifa. Let's see how that goes. We're just letting her go. Old lady just walking through, so. So now the police have taken up this flank here. It's kind of a hot spot. So these guys are being turned away. She kind of hit a dead end there. Got protest monitors from the ACLU. So yeah, Antifa's basically taken up this stretch. Now get the DZ. So I just got the finger from the guy in purple shoes. I don't know why. I didn't do anything. I guess because I'm filming. Kind of boring. Not just kind of boring, totally boring. Yeah, I mean, it was back there when people were trying to get through, right? They were kind of from a distance umbrellaing me, you know? Yeah. Do they do that to... I got the finger and it was like, why? What? Right. And that's, so I have two cameras, right? Two cameras, two cameras. I used to work in this market, broadcast. Yeah, like 10 years ago. Like anchoring, myself as well, field recording. Last time I was here, it was interesting because I went to Ducati. Last time I was here, 9.5 years ago. Right. So that was the last story I did in New York. Oh man. It was Occupy Wall Street. After that, I went to Los Angeles. Well, I stayed here a little bit and I was producing like comedy content. And then I went to LA and I've been working in LA for Univision for the last, well, I got a couple of years under my belt here at New York, New Jersey Univision. And then I transferred to LA. Yeah. Now you're back. What's that? Now you're back. Now I'm back and I got furloughed from Univision in May, and so I've been on an independent project going city to city. This is my first New York action because I'm kind of, how would you characterize the scene here, basically? So let's see. So that was an interesting conversation. I put the camera down because it was a private conversation I was having with another member of the press, asking what this scene was like. What's going on here?
Who's that? Al Jones?
Oh, yeah. Persecution that is going on with people who are just trying to be left alone and just trying to stand up for what this country is truly founded on is extraordinary. And my business partner and I have been through the ringer, and we know a lot of other people through this past 18 months who have been put through the ringer. A lot of them are personal friends, and some of them are stuck in D.C. right now. And I can tell you that from personal experience, it means the world to have the support of people like you guys and people fighting to make sure that people who put themselves in the line of fire have the support they need to continue fighting. This is a battle that, admittedly, when we got into, we had no idea how big it was.
So they are chilled on this side.
And I want to sit here and talk about what's going on.
Sign says, "We are all Joe Biggs," who I believe is still the Proud Boys #2 guy. Who I believe is still incarcerated, if I'm not mistaken.
And I'm going to ask you to keep doing it and do it more. These people in D.C. need your help. The stories that I've heard from Scott and some of the others are horrific. And this is something that needs to stop. So please stay informed, please stay involved. Go out, protest, contact every single senator that you can, every single local official that you can. Stay loud, stay vocal. This is going to be an absolute long fight. And I love you guys. Next time you're in New York, I promise I will make it there, and I apologize for not being able to do it today. Keep your heads up, stay strong, and just keep fighting, guys.
Thank you. Give it up for Ian Smith.
So that was Ian Smith.
All of the people. That's right. And guys,
Got an audio.
This person, I just asked the speeches now because I want everybody to know that the people over there, the people in black, the counter protesters, came here today. I see you.
What we just here doing out there? We're up there.
Okay, the Cowboys are not the New York. I speak to the New York chapter of the Cowboys. I know a lot of them. They're not white supremacists. I would like them. I'm going to call one of them up to speak right now. I have a good friend of mine. Yeah, I'm going to speak with you just to display the stupid myth. Now you come down here looking at us. We are not your enemy, and he's going to tell you who the Proud Boys are and who he is. Please go up to the stage. Go first, class.
Danny, they didn't let you in?
They didn't let me in because I'm your girlfriend.
Are you fucking serious?
No, this guy's fucking great.
No, but the old lady said no.
No, this guy.
No, the old lady said no.
Cowboys are specifically by their tenets an anti-racist organization. Period. We are a social group.
We don't agree on it. I'm gonna push back. Jay's racist.
So this guy's basically screaming.
And stop them to allow them to have the freedom to do what we're doing here today. That is the only part of the Proud Boys that you see on television. You see them standing there. Nobody talks about what we're really about. We are not a white supremacist organization by any stretch of the imagination. If there are white supremacists that you can find in our organization, we do our best to weed them out. In your organization, there are psychopathic idiots who join specifically to start violence because that is their nature. You should do your best to weed them out because that will also be your downfall.
You don't need to be in the front. What the fuck is this dashiki?
We do not punish
That
you,
dashiki.
and we
Why
don't
is that a dashiki on? African doesn't.
It's like this guy's website is godglamit.com. Godglamit is what it says.
Why does this asshole wear African print when you're the biggest racist? He's wearing a dashiki. Why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing a
Peanut moron.
Why are you wearing a dashiki? Africa does not want your nasty, old, white, tired ass. Africa does not want to take that shit off.
You might be enjoying
That is a
the
privilege to wear that
beneficence
shit.
of being
You
a Democrat
dashiki, old,
violent
dirty,
army right
saggy,
now.
white piece of shit.
When the Republicans
Racist
are back in power, you will
Racist,
be on
saggy,
the
white
other
asshole.
side,
Take
and you
that
will
fucking
also
dashiki off.
be vulnerable to being political
I feel
prisoners.
better.
So CAP is a non-partisan organization. That's what this is about. We are here to protect all of our rights, to our constitutional rights to assemble, to speak, all of it. And we're here to protect you as well.
They're doing it back because of you. Are you fucking serious? No fucking way.
This guy's everything that's this guy's the biggest piece of everything that's every problem we have in America is in you. Hold on.
They're taking this nigga out because that's whoa, that's deep. That's deep. That's deep, nigga. Wow, you deep. That's
No one in this country
Wow.
has the right to trample on other people's rights.
What am I dying for? They're racist. What are you doing? Why am I that shit?
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We're fighting for our rights. The Black Lives Matter New York are not racist. We just spoke with mixed race and news and the LGBTQ community. I don't think somebody like that would join a white supremacy group. I myself, mixed race.
She's
but not either. Talk about narrative that the media is using to divide and destroy us.
How much you weigh, bro? What are you like 240 something? Something like that? Yeah, what are you? 230? 230? Is that how much you weigh?
Sorry, next time you'll came up. Father from Harlem. We got Father from Harlem. I saw the post speaking
I'm Irish too, buddy. Let me know something. Don't forget about it. What do you think? Think you have the balls to do this with the cops running around? No. You might try. You might try.
Stop smiling at
Afternoon,
me.
everyone.
Why should I be able to smile? I said no smiling. Better be. You know,
Finally, these people realize that the bootlicking needs to end.
White people
Stop me smiling.
The pensioning army that's been holding up an unsustainable system needs to be no longer backed. That's what this rally is all about. And you're mad at me that I'm friends with someone in Black Lives Matter. Wow.
Come outside.
Guys, 2:30 talking shit. 2:30.
Second Bernie and friends. My show.
What are you, cruiserweight?
I know that is my show. So funny.
I don't know. You gotta ask this guy. John.
I love pussy. You're touching my blood. You're touching my blood. You're in my shot.
and he made it on the police force. So tell me, when did white people
I told you I was friends with them.
I am black
I'm a troll.
and I tell liberals why you say
I tell you what I know. I tell you. Brother, you're my bitch.
He wouldn't say that if the cops were in here, John. Don't worry. We already established that.
What was your question?
we don't need money. We are sick and tired. Some of us are sick.
That's not a lie.
White people acting like we can find our land and take away we are not super.
Bro, they left me out.
And then God so much they want to destroy America. They hate the Judeo-Christian founding of this country. So they pretend
So the big question is, how do people get out of here? This guy.
They hate you and I for coming together as Americans. Because all of we are Americans.
Giving any interviews, by chance?
Americans.
Exactly what they do every single day. Okay? That's what I do. And I hang out with them and I tell them all the time, these guys aren't terrorists. And then they come here and you kick somebody out and you don't let somebody in because I have a black girlfriend. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Right? Every day I try helping these kids more than anyone else. Tom, I'm not allowed in because I have a black girlfriend. It's like the fucking 70s over here.
Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt. You follow every rule. That's how you got this job.
Follow rules.
I just want to say to you that Ashley Babbitt
died for fighting.
my daughter. I love her. She was a
These guys violated the Constitution for de Blasio.
behavior and un-American treatment. And I love my daughter.
Why do I get in trouble?
It's on my show.
I feel like people are still in jail.
Daddy got
Are being treated badly. Yesterday I went to a Trump rally. Congressman Gosar spoke up for everybody, and he's 100%, 110%. And he has contacted the Attorney General, and he is going to go to the jail. He's going to go to CC jail Thursday and speak to somebody about this issue. So I just want to say to you,
what does that got to do with it? I can't even get in. What does that have to do with anything?
and our suffering is not going to be for nothing.
You know, I don't believe that.
Why do you keep saying that guy?
This can change, and you guys can't stop. There's no change in anything that happens. When you start making the bill, knowing your consequences, and we never know the country around it, and we love, we need all the countries that avoid us, cheering us on, like radical government, and political corruption, and we look at what's
Somebody tell her to take her kids home, man.
You need a fucking abortion.
What's wrong with this lady?
You're a dumbass. You're not forced to have children using the airport. That's corny.
Hey, I'm afraid of you.
You look dumb.
No, I'm not you, I'm afraid of you. What's wrong with that lady, man?
He was a non-American patriot, so I was comforted in the fact that the day she died was a good day for her. You know, I mean, I told the government of it, she was in the and that's thing that patriots that went to the call the United States, serving all the and I'm sorry that she was just 7 months is a long time to sit in jail. I say time for let him go. Let him go.
That's your money, so you go home.
Gary! Yo, Gary!
Let me get the plate.
Because America was watching. New Americans. And I don't know how many people are there to do every single one of them.
I think it is. I think it's the case. Just took the case off. I took the case off, see if the sound is better.
Be proud Americans. Be patriots. And just be proud. Be proud Americans like we are. And don't let active death be in vain. Don't let your suffering be in vain. And someday we will take back this country. We will.
Wait, hold on, let me ask you a question. You started it, so let's keep going. Do you believe black people deserve to die?
Black people need to listen to police when they're telling them what to do, like white people and everyone else needs to. Everybody needs to listen to
That's not my
police
question.
because you won't fucking call them when they go.
Oh, God. You racist. That's mad racist. She told me to learn something from Asian Americans. We are working. So because I'm black, I'm not working. Hey, I do a lot more for my people. I'm racist. How the fuck am I racist? You're comparing me to your race. I didn't compare you to any race. Race doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. Where your heart is not. I get paid on music. I didn't say that. I still get paid. I make music. I make money off of music. You don't even know me. Shut up, bastard. Somebody never worked. Shut up, bastard.
So, in one conversation with a journalist, we talked about the scene here in New York, that there was a protest yesterday at Prospect Park where activists were protesting against, essentially, against the ability to declare war and lobbying Senator Charles Schumer, New York Senator, as the Senate Majority Leader, to restrict the ability of the country to declare war. And so that's what the Prospect Park, Brooklyn protest was about. Here, I'll read the flyer. I have it on my other phone. But essentially, and that fellow who's a photographer told me that the scene here, he said this is the biggest showing that Antifa-aligned groups have had here in the New York City area in, he said, in months, a long time. So, and they also, in their Twitter, said that live streaming was okay. And the, what is it, United Against Racism and Fascism NYC said live streaming was, there would be live streamers. So they do try to handle you, but I think they wanted to be seen and to be seen out here today, from what I gathered, because as that other photographer told me, he said there's been a fractured leftist activist scene here where Black Lives Matter and Antifa were doing separate things. And in his word, he said it kind of all canceled itself out, in his words. That was a kind of interesting characterization about the radical leftist scene here in New York City. So, now they're chanting Ashley Babbitt. This reads Chinese Communist Party 100 year anti-human crimes. It's against the Chinese Communist Party.
You know that QAnon is funded by the Falun Gong?
QAnon is funded by the Falun Gong?
Yeah, QAnon is funded by the Falun Gong.
I know that...
You can ask her if she belongs to Falun Gong or not. I think she'll tell you yes.
Oh. That's an interesting theory. I know the Epic Times is. Yeah, Epic Times. That's following.
Yeah.
But I don't know that QAnon is.
No.
Because QAnon doesn't really need any funding, does it? It's just a bunch of people with
Yeah,
a
but you
theory.
need money. You need money. Everything needs money. Everybody needs money. Everybody.
Well,
Well,
for example, they're all grassroots. They're grassroots. The Antifa, Black Bloc. These are people on their day off.
I mean, they're not funded by George Soros.
I have no proof of that. I have no proof of that. It doesn't cost a lot of money to buy a bunch of black and give people the finger, you know, buy some bear spray. It's not, I don't think QAnon or Black Lives Matter are funded by major money sources. That's my opinion in 1 year of just following.
It doesn't. You need some motivated.
The political action certainly is. The Epic Times, I know, is following going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it would be a stretch to say that QAnon is, because QAnon is such a internet just hysteria movement.
Exactly. Hey, are you following them?
Yeah, get him. Yeah. Yeah, talk that shit now.
I'm not a brother. I just want to know their background.
Yeah, background is racist. She told me I didn't want to be Asian. The black shit said there's no racism like the Asian.
Really? I was in here before. When they got the eggs, I filmed. I was in here before. You don't know me? Yeah, I'll show you my video. But I'm not aligned with any like particular group. I'm an independent journalist. Tara knows me. I'll show you. I was in here earlier. What's that?
How do you feel about the Hong Kong police? How do you feel about the Hong Kong police?
So now I can't get back in. This was me in there earlier getting the Antifa eggs. So,
You're not close to each other anyway.
No, I'm an independent that gets the whole story. So, yeah. I understand it's good.
You understand, I understand.
Thank you. So I showed him video of what I shot earlier of the eggs that were thrown in here. So and then he let me in. So.
Real people. Real people. These phony, look like politicians. Rhinos. Where's all the rhinos out there that are not standing up for the political prisoners in January for January 6th? Where are you? Stand up and fight. Call your congressmen, call your legislatures, and ask them if they're on the side of the Constitution or not. And I wanted to mention, everybody, go to StopHate.com. There you will find a documentary made by a friend of mine. StopHate.com. Plug that in your brain right now. And it shows a lot of evidence about the other deaths, okay, that were there that day. The one that Capitol Police said were mysterious heart attacks, strokes, and overdoses out of the blue at a Trump rally. There's evidence on this StopHate.com that those deaths were not natural causes. And they were not caused by Trump rioters, the way the fake news tried to paint that picture.
I'm sorry.
If you re-educate or recant anything you said about the stolen election, okay? Don't take the plea deal, and we need good attorneys that are willing to not be canceled and to step up to the plate and get these guys out of prison so they can await trial from home. And Jill Murray Joe Murray, former district attorney candidate, is one of the attorneys that's going to be helping us. And he's a powerful man, former NYPD. That's right. Joe Murray, everybody put your hands together for Joe Murray.
Hello, everyone. God bless you for coming out. It's my honor to be here and come out. Just want to give you a little... Okay. Sorry. It's better? All right, great. It is absolutely my honor to be here, and I see a lot of my friends who served with me on the job. Dave Sieb over here in the red shirt, hero. We are here, and I specifically want to introduce myself. Aside from being a New York City police officer, I left the job, retired, and became an attorney. And it was a weird situation because I focused on criminal defense. And a lot of people, a lot of my former police colleagues said, how could you do that? Being a police officer and now working in criminal defense. And I made the point to them, there is nothing more important than that United States Constitution and the rights and liberties and freedoms that we all enjoy because of our document must be defended all the time. And our protesters over here, we are fighting for the same thing. We want the equal protection of the law. The people in this place are being denied the equal protection of the law.
Well, literally, they've been hunters. They haven't won one yet. I mean, just by chance, you think they do well at least once. But they lose every fight.
Big guy should be a guy that beats. Last time he was the main guy that attacked you. This motherfucker was great.
Find the guy.
We need more than people to attack him.
I want to see some team. I have 1,000 teams. I just flooded with 1,000 teams. Fuck the protesters. Fuck protesters. You want to fight the hood? You want to beat the hood? Huh? Oh, I don't see guys in the Bronx. Yeah. Come to the Bronx.
Go from East New York.
You from East New York? Where's the nearest boxing gym?
Just to give you a quick story about who I am. I work right here as a police officer in Manhattan. A good friend of mine from Mexico got arrested.
Eu sempre fiquei canal do college que está.
那你看那个子真小。
I go there in uniform to challenge them and say, hey, how is it necessary to
Ricky! Listen, you guys get back!
Yo, that's my trap.
Get back!
I'm trying to get them in. Go get them in.
Ricky! Ricky!
I was just trying to talk to you. I just trying to talk to you. I'm trying to get you guys get back.
a good lawyer. And have a great lawyer first. And I didn't want me to go into the grand jury. I knew I had a bad story. I could not
Cowboys to my dick.
so I got rid of the attorney, I found another attorney, and went in there, I talked to that grand jury, and I told them everything, and there was no truth there. That means they dismissed everything. I just want to let you know, the PBA would not back me. John Murray is a union member, a member of the union action team. They would not back me because they said I heard it on the cop. The detective union wouldn't back me. I had to fight like hell. And I had Bruce Cotton to do my crime. Bruce, great lawyer, got me a no local time. I still refuse to work
Get over here with the press because it's getting a little hairy out there.
Gentlemen, please stay back. It's too much chaos. Gentlemen, please.
Sorry. I'm gonna leave. I'm getting out. Sorry. I'm gonna head out.
He's throwing you back. He's throwing you back. What do you need, man?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that the bottom of the side is going to be helping us to pay for. Thank you, Joker.
No, it was in his home. Right? Just go enjoy this, all right? Just go do it. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep the peace, man. That's what we're doing.
Amazing lawyers.
Can't keep the peace with racism. There's not going to be no peace. Everybody just go back in there, all right?
I gotta treat, and he's putting his heart, blood, sweat, and tears into their cases. Okay, so give him a round of applause. Steve Metcalf. Okay, he's an amazing lawyer, an amazing attorney, and he is fighting the good fight right now to get these guys out of prison.
Is there another way out besides there to get out of here? Is there another way out? It's a little hairy over there right now. Can I get out? Okay. Thank you.
Got it. And then just, just go right there and open it, just close it on the way out.
All right, thank you. Thanks. So they let me out here. There's a little hairy over there, so let's go check out the arrest. They're arresting someone, and then the guy with the Proud Boys hat was taken out here for some reason. You can see Daryl Lamont Jenkins, who's Antifa organizer, is over there. But someone is detained.
Just meet me in the park. Huh? Bob, what's up? What? Okay, well, I have to go back there anyway. So, okay, thank you. All right, I'll be over there in a few minutes. You just gotta.
What happened? What happened with this guy's army? What happened? You know what happened out there? Cowboys not bringing us?
And that's what we need. We need people to stand up and actually call for investigation.
What happened over there? What? So you didn't want to talk, but yes. So apparently they're saying that someone attempted to slash the tires in his car. The Antifa group looks like they dispersed. Something's going on over here. So we had one arrest over there on the west side of Foley Square Park here, and that looked to be an attempted tire slashing of that yellow truck. The guy had a Proud Boys hat on, and so I asked him what happened. He said nothing. Didn't want kind of wagging it.
Alright. It's not over.
They stupid.
Hey, you motherfuckers will not have another one of these rallies at peace. I promise you that. Shut the fuck up. Suck my dick. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You ain't doing nothing. Okay, shut up, pussy. Yeah, I know you too. You too. So sweet. Hit me so I can show you. Hit me. Shot. Proud Boys to my dick. I'm trying to kick you. Hear me? I will hang a Proud Boy, nigga. I hang him in front of you. You hear me? I kill a Proud Boy in front of y'all. Yeah. You looking like he's wild. Yes, I am. And I'm not. Boy, I will squeeze life out of one of them niggas. You hear me? Alright? Get out the way. You laughing. Tell your officers to mind their business. Yeah. Tell your record it. Suck my dick. I will kill a Proud Boy, nigga. Yeah. I'm ready to die for this shit, nigga. Fuck is you talking about?
The cops are worse than the Proud Boys, man.
I will kill a Proud Boy, nigga.
The cops are worse than them.
Oh, I thought you said some shit for them.
I said the cops are worse than the Proud Boys.
Which precinct are you thinking
I guarantee you, they won't be
Cops
partying.
are so racist, they get the Proud Boys.
Shut up, Danny, leave. Shut up.
Watch this shit.
Hey.
Hey, Shrek.
I don't know why. The other
See, I ain't bring the same.
This is the big guy.
See what he's doing?
We don't know why. Okay. I see. So they arrested the pig. The guy with the pig mask was the one who got taken away, apparently. Yeah, someone says, let's ask him what happened. Did they take someone away? Who was it?
Yeah, they want to arrest people after I've been called all type of niggas, told to go back to Africa, all kinds of shit.
They arrested the guy in the pig mask? Yeah. Did he do it? Do you know what he did? Or is alleged to have done?
Yeah, we had to find the black bloc guy.
Still staying arguing with the cops, and they arrested him.
So I got a scoop there. The guy that we've seen that's in the jersey, who I guess is the boyfriend of the performance artist, said that the pig guy kept sort of pushing on the cops or coming up to them, and his words were, he kind of whispered to me, he asked for it, meaning that the guy in the pig's mask was kind of pushing the envelope. So the black bloc's gone. They are gone. So we had one attempted tire slashing. Someone else was arrested for going up against the cops. The black bloc is gone. And it appears, because I was kind of asking myself, well, what about when this rally ends and people want to go back to their cars? To do is to look around. What they did in Sacramento and St. Paul is the black bloc that had Trump insignia. So if you know what?
Yeah, the rest of the bike too. That's 13 cars to the bike over there. The rest is the one I don't know. I don't know. I'm so mad. I'm so pissed right now. I'm so pissed that Danny is talking to me while I'm filming. While I'm filming, Danny's fucking speaking to me. I don't like the boyfriend. I'm not done. Don't fucking talk to me when I'm filming. Are you serious? Are you serious? This nigga's talking to me when I'm filming. When I'm performing, this nigga is like, crackhead. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. What? I'm crazy.
Which direction?
I don't know. They left it on that road. Yep. There was a big group.
Sometimes we go out for cars. They have like
So, nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you. Yeah.
They told me
Jeremy.
that-
Yeah.
Hey, Danny can't shut the fuck up. Nigga, fuck you. Fuck you. They did it. That's like 13 months ago.
All right. So apparently the black bloc went this way. So let's see what is up down here. A couple photographers are just kind of waiting up. So what happened on December the 5th is that Trump supporters were at a rally in California, and when they left the rally, or where they're still at the rally, the black bloc left and then looked for cars that had any kind of bumper stickers, and they broke them out. Now with New York City, you have a lot of covered parking where people probably have parked in garages. So I'm not seeing all of the cars that we see down here parked have yellow special plates. So they all seem to be special permit, like government vehicles or whatever. So that strategy or that action wouldn't work in New York because most people, if you park downtown, you park in covered, you pay $30 or whatever it is for parking these days. So that I doubt if the black bloc would do that like they did in Sacramento and St. Paul. But there was the one truck. It was attempted tire slashing apparently, and they took the guy. They detained the guy for that. Now someone told me that the guy, the Proud Boy whose truck that was, who didn't want to talk, someone told me that individual was saying not to press charges, but they took the guy away being detained or arrested. So, all right. Any weekend rate, but if you're here on a weekday, I'm saying $30 for downtown parking. I took the subway, so I don't know that for sure. But I'm just estimating. But San Francisco is like that. San Francisco is like $25, $30 parking, and downtown New York. I mean, we're in Lower Manhattan. Just to give some context of where we are, this is Lower Manhattan. So this is downtown, the financial district. Wall Street is just a couple of blocks away. Here you have the state of New York, the state office buildings, One Police Plaza. I believe is right around here, if I remember correctly. That's the police headquarters. City Hall is not far. The court, you have the U.S. courthouse. So this is downtown Manhattan parking here. Sign says vaccination site, 1 Center Street, 1 block down for vaccinations. All right, we'll go back. I think I'm gonna just double back here, give it one more look around, but I think I'm gonna end the live stream portion of this. It was interesting. It was interesting to see how, you got eggs thrown at the right-wing Patriot Align rally, an attempted tire slashing, and then a guy dressed up as a pig that got a little crazy apparently. So pretty mild. I mean, they were tired, left you. Now you can walk freely. This was all occupied territory before, where they were shoving umbrellas in people's faces. They did let one old lady walk this way. So.
Doctors, educators, incredibly educated people. We shouldn't be fooled. So the reason that totally black-haired Marxist guy that was just about to jump the barriers. If you jump the police barriers today, and if you did, and you got arrested, should he be denied his due process rights? Hell no! Should he be here fighting for his due process rights? Hell yeah! And we would. That's right. Because we're all united here. You, each of you, and us, each of us, are brothers and sisters in arms in this fight. 100 years ago, we fought for black people's right to vote. 50 years, and then we had to fight for women's right to vote. Would anybody think that a century later we would be here fighting about anybody's fucking right to have a vote count? It's unimaginable that we're back here using the words of the great Martin Luther King to justify voting itself in our country.
So one of the guys who was tall with a beard, I don't know if you could hear him because apparently this mic isn't that great on this. I'm on an iPhone 11. I don't know why. But the front mic, when I have it to the front, you get better image, but worse sound. When I have it to the other side of the cam, you have good sound, but not as good in an image. So it's just sort of the, I'm gonna sit down. City Hall is just to the south, over on the other side of this block. That's the court. And that's the protest carrying on. But there were a couple Proud Boys, and the woman thanked the Proud Boys of New York specifically for providing security for this event. So it was very different than the LA situation where you might have had, Proud Boys or Proud Boy adjacent types sprinkled in the crowd. This was the Proud Boys of New York were providing security of this event. You heard somebody mention the, what was it called? The Republican Club or something. That was the big first New York event of the Proud Boys, where I think 2 people are still serving a prison sentence related to it because the Black Bloc Antifa threw some sort of liquids at them in a bottle, and then they beat up the Antifa people. And I think they're still, they got 3 years for that. So one of the guys was saying, it was a tall guy with a beard, he's like, they always mess with us and they always get their, he says, they always get their ass kicked. You think they would have learned by now. So, the Proud Boys that were there, we're not mincing words about what they think about Antifa, for sure. Let's see, what else? Samsungs are the phones. Someone's talking about Samsung. Yeah, the phones if you want to stream. Yeah, I'm seeing that because having to choose between picture and sound, and I really don't have control over the lens like you do when you're filming straight video. So I'm gonna think about that. If I'm gonna keep just doing these sort of streams, I think I will look into Samsung. Thanks for the suggestion. I appreciate it. Google hides comments it doesn't like. It's not the streamer ghosting comments most of the time. That is true. I actually have only ever blocked one comment. I'm not someone for censorship, and I can't remember what it was, but it was a very tasteless and racist comment that was made, and it's the only comment I've ever blocked. And I think it was when I was covering Huntington Beach. So I made that decision, but usually I don't block any comments. I don't have time to read them, quite frankly. So just know I'm not looking at the comments, and usually it's too bright. Like today, it's a bright day, so you couldn't really see the screen that well. Now I'm sitting in the shade, and I can finally take a look. The Young Turks used Dr. Antifa from Cedars in LA. I've been getting emails about that. I was going to go to the Cedars-Sinai thing in LA, and I wasn't seeing that much buzz. It was very small, but I decided not to, and it's because I've been writing a piece, which I hope is still coming out. I've been writing a piece for the last couple of weeks on the WeSpa stuff. So I did not go to the Cedars-Sinai because we almost published. We thought we were going to publish on Thursday, and then we didn't because we got some new information about what we were being told in regards to the individual who I'll just say it to you guys now. We have inside information that it was a transgender person in the WeSpa that identified as such. I'm still working to affirm that with other sources, but the statement that the lawyer made was interesting, that it was a man pretending to be transgender. Now you could say, well, is the lawyer being dishonest with that? And that's the cliffhanger that I'll leave you with, how to reconcile that comment. That's what we're writing about right now. So that's the cliffhanger is that, just turn the camera away because kids are coming by. We're still chanting Ashley Babbitt. All right, guys, I'm a little exhausted. It's been a long stream, a nice solid two. This stream's been 2 hours, but this is my second stream. There's another stream on my Twitter. If you haven't followed me It's at J Lee Quinn on Twitter, JLEEQUINN on Twitter, youtube.com/unblockedlive. I'll have another guest next week once I get back to California. Thanks for joining us on the Unblocked Live stream. I'll be writing this up too, but as I said, nothing major really happened. Just Antifa throwing eggs, attempted tire slash, and a guy in a pig costume. And the Proud Boys of New York were working security here for this rally, as openly stated by the organizer who's there right now.
But first I'm going to have Barbara. I'm so sorry, Sue. I'm starting to lose my mind. Sue, I know her story.
Thanks for joining me. Y'all take care, and feel free to go and follow me on Twitter and look at the previous stream as well, because I started off in the black bloc, walked up to the organizer, introduced myself. By the end, he was telling people not to talk to me. So that was interesting.
Who is accused of basically conspiracy by the government for organizing buses for her friends, for other friends of her grandmas.
That's it. Have a good weekend, everybody.